Look, the beach road they are reconstructing. How soon was it not asphalted from end to end? But look at it, and they are doing it again. What sort of human beings are we? Anyways, we are lucky. Formerly, it was so weak that these heavy downpours, the road should have been cut into two. I've experienced it before. When I was studying in RMU that year, I slept on the campus. I passed in the evening for studies. But 10 o'clock I was coming back, the road was 2. So if I wanted to come to Tema, then I would go around motorway. I said, oh, my colleagues are in the hostel. What nonsense is this? I just called my house and said, tomorrow morning go and see what has happened. So you don't think I wanted to go wayward, that's why I'm not coming. I'm there. So for those weeks, it was repaired. If you are going that way, you take another car, alight, cross it, take another car, because they put some improvised wooden structures to walk on. If you are not bold, then you go the merry-go-round, and people were doing it. So they gradually fix it properly, and for years it has not cut into 2 yet again. Oh, those days, every rainy season, everybody is scared. It was poorly constructed, So that is. So the acid weight load is a very important functional aspect of road maintenance. Okay. This goes to tell you why are we studying this thing about container traffic. Containers load and their weight impact on the roads are very important. Yes, we are talking about heavy loads. So if you see the chart, the Ghana, you see when they say a vehicle is single axle, so you see, what do we mean by 2 axles? Physically, you have been seeing it, you have been loading vehicles. Those specialized transport officers here, when you say 2 axle car, what do we mean? Physically, what do we see in it? Is the under part, what do we see? Now we call it 2 axles.
You see 4 tires at the back.
Yeah. You see 4 tires.
4 sets of tires at the back. The front has 2 there, and then the immediate one, there is another one, so it's 4 at the back.
Anyway, these are the professionals and technical things that this is. You have it in the notes, as I'll give you the notes from today or so. Or yesterday you copied it. You have so read them, and it's your duty to on your own go and navigate, and you should be adventurous. Take this note and even go. You should not feel shy to learn. Go to the truck operators you have been hiring. Please, I'm having this paper. Show me the vehicle that is 2 axles. Show me what is 3 axles and that. And come back to me and say, now you've seen it. Yes, tell me.
The 2 axles refer to a normal, like a normal.
Which one? Which axle? The single.
The single vehicle is 2 axles. The axles refer to the front and the back.
Only the front and the back.
Yes.
Good.
That's 2 axles.
Listen to him. Learn from him. Yes.
3 axles.
Yeah.
Means there's 1 axle in front and 2 at the back for a single vehicle. Then it goes on like that because most cars can have 1 axle in front and a number at the back.
Yeah, there can be 4 axles at the back, like this one. The 4 axles. Then the stopper articulators have even up to 6. And it is there I've been telling people the cost of the tires and an articulator can buy 2 small cars.
Yes.
It's true. Do you know even my vehicle 4x4, the most expensive tire, do you know how much this one is sold now? Yes, the 4x4s we are riding. 1,000. There are certain 4x4, the V8s, 1 tire is 5,000. So mine 20,000. Yes, can't you buy a small car for to run as a boat? The daughters, the good cars. So this acid load business is not for fun, and Ghana has got a law. It's out of the law they publish this chart. Okay. So we are talking. We see we've now described the standard road vehicles to go along the transportation of loaded container. What happens in the rail sector? The rail sector is not even competing with the transportation of containers with the sea one, because everybody assumes transportation by rail is more expensive than sea, so everybody should still be giving about 95% of the sea container traffic, but through the maritime. But Chinese have now proven to the world that rail transportation, despite the cost, can compete effectively and cost-wise with the sea. So they've developed transcontinental railway lines now between China and other continents that are looking cheaper than by sea. An example is the very first one they did. There's a whole rail from the port of Yiwu in China that ends at Madrid, the central part of Spain, and from there the cargoes are further distributed by other modes into other parts of Europe, and they've continued now. Some of the rails have ended in London and certain parts of this thing. What is the difference? Sea transport of the same number of sea containers by sea from that same port to this central part of Europe takes 45 days. But this rail is faster, and they are using what? 30 days. It is only if you know the value of that 15 days that have saved for you as a merchant, then you know you are saving costs. Yes, I've got a video on it, you see it. The Chinese rail track. That the moment they became successful, they've gone wild. They've had one between them and Pakistan, they have another one between them and India, and on they are going. So the rail system is somehow competing with the sea length of sea container transportation. It's a fact. The Chinese are doing it all over. Yeah. So ISO containers produce the demand for rail cars to transport units from port to inland terminals. So they are going straight. They run among them, go to inland terminals, because the rails can end up in the inland terminal proper on one contract. Carry your containers from China. When it goes to Madrid, the rail goes to the actual terminal and discharge like the vessels have been discharging at the berths. Who would not want this? Instead of, if it were to be Tema and the rails were to be here, after discharging from the vessel, we are now going to truck it by rail or by land or by any other means to its final destination by single journey, port to the longest inland spot. It will go now. So the rail has come to serve and is actually making life easier for container traffic. Yes, any question? And the advantages are in your notes. The tonnages that they can carry, that road cannot carry. Do you get it? So other advantages over road, so they are there. Okay, yes. So we'll see. So this is an example of when you don't undertake proper planning of your container, and I explained them. When you put loose grains, the danger of pressing out of the door. So prevention is retaining fence and plastic membrane at the front door. And I did say, if you don't want this to happen, you put plastic fence or any material, and that material are also referred as donnages. Yeah, they have no essence to the cargo at all, just to prevent accidents. So that even if they fall and mistakenly open the door, it is the tonnage material that will receive the pressure, and by the time it is gradually falling down, the pressure has reduced, so it will not come to you then. If you the human being, the moment you see the tonnage coming out, it will be more than what you say both. Yeah. So these are just like putting an expensive car in a container. Danger of uncontrolled moving, as I explained. Proper lashing and chocking of the wheels. Yeah, that I said. They put these wooden chocks or rubber tie ones, but it can even go off. So it's not 100. It is not a stereotype law that so far as you lash, that's better. the high density metal cargo in 40 container. Danger of overloading, fall out of the bottom. So people think the container bottom is so strong. No. Very heavy equipment can fall out of the bottom of the container. Yes. Which part is the strength of this whole sea container we are talking about? Which part is the strength? Everything has got its strength. The container, which part is the strength? I've just told you, people think it's the bottom. It's not the bottom. It's not the side. The sides are the weakest.
The top.
The four corners. The top. The four corners where the doors, the holes are that we used to handle. That's the strength. Anything else is not strong. Can't you see when containers are damaged, accidented, the sides easily protrude and they are cut through. They are so mangled like a vehicle in an accident. But the top corners are intact, very strong, standing. Yes. And the bottom, as I have proven to you, is overload the floor, the cargoes will fall through the bottom too. So please take note of your loading plan guidelines. So these are a class exercise in your notes. Please try your hands on it, okay? Try your hands and come back to me and I'll see your answers and we see whether they were right.